The new version of the Aranui has many new features, as we will look at. Your trip starts at the Manavo Resort. Very comfortable and very enjoyable stay. With a free day to town, what better place to pay a visit than the Papiete markets for a taste of island culture. The flowers are unbelievable with such a range of beautiful colours and shapes, unlike anything you will see anywhere else. Next morning we take an early pick-up and head for the Aranui 5. She is an impressive sight. After settling in, we are invited to a welcome ceremony by the locals. An impressive display of manhood. Land ho! Takapoto, our first landfall on the way to the Marquesas. no real wharfs, so we hop aboard the barges. Lovely warm water with a gentle sea. Anyone for a swim? This is where we had lunch, a barbecue provided by our crew. Back on board, we have the dance classes where passengers attempt to outclass the locals. Whenever we are not ashore, there is always something going on to allow us to better understand native crafts and activities. At night, we are introduced to the crew and captain before a fashion page by the ladies.
Look for you, women, when you go to the beach. C'est pour aller à la plage.
Next day, we arrive at Nuku, Hiva and go ashore to get aboard four-wheel drives to visit the Aranui site. We travel up into the mountain, past waterfalls and gorgeous scenery. Finally, we arrive at a massive banyan tree, Aranui, where we are treated to a native dance ceremony. Moving on, we enter Aranui village, where we visit a local museum and church. This is a beautiful seaside village where peace reigns and time ceases to exist. The views are spectacular and often breathtaking as you travel through these craggy mountains. Can you imagine waking every morning to this scenery for the rest of your life? Finally, we arrived at Aranui village and a beautiful bay. Onward to Aranui village. This island is spectacular. The village sits at the base of this craggy mountain and will be the place where we are introduced to local folklore and dancing. Again, these beautiful tropic flowers and shrubs. For those who like a challenge, though, there is a 40-minute walk to the White Cross high on the mountain. The views are spectacular even on the way up, but wait for what you see up top. Back at sea level again and on our way to the village for a taste of handicrafts and culture. Again, those craggy mountains that are all left of a volcano. And now, culture with a capital C, as we are introduced to the ceremonies created in times way past. Watching these performers, one can't help but be impressed with the enthusiasm as they perform. Back on board, the crew keep alive the tradition of the old Aranui happy hour. In the spirit, it is worth being part of, as you will see in a later gathering. Bar on deck 6, where happy hour is located. It's quite a place to gather and have a drink before dinner. Onward again to Hiva next day. Again, these rugged mountain tops thrust into the sky, creating memorable landscapes before we go ashore by barge again. Here we take a jeep drive up the mountain to Tailipona site to view the island's past history. The site is overwhelming and has a lot of what Polynesians call mana, spiritual power. Aranui for lunch, which is a smorgasbord where you help yourself as much or as little as you prefer. Superb choice of food here. Into buses and up to the mountains to the cemetery where Gauguin is buried. He spent his last year in these islands. The view from up here is spectacular as you come to expect the moment you step ashore in these islands. You can understand why Gauguin was so taken with these islands. As an artist, he would have found such beauty almost overwhelming. Onward to Hiva and Amara. Quite an extensive village where we are introduced to the making of tapa and umihi flower bouquets. First up through the craft centre and loads of fabrics for beautiful tie-dyeing. This is a tapa demonstration, first splitting the bark off the wood and then beating it to make the fabric. Heading back to the ship, we pass a local tiki on the shoreline. Heading off again, we arrive at Hiva. Again, we are struck with the cleanliness and beauty of this colourful village. Looking at these mountains, it's hard to visualise the enormous and volatile power that created them. Some of the outcrops on the rugged mountain sides grab the attention with their cragginess thrusting up towards the sky. More native dancing by the ladies. After another happy hour upstairs, the next day we head for Tahuata, quite a beautiful little village. A Seventh-day Church, I would guess, as there is a service in progress on this Saturday. More crafts, a little entertainment for ladies. The monumental stone Catholic church is opposite the seafront. The church has beautiful stained glass windows and some interesting wood carvings. The craftsmanship of the stonework is unbelievable. Beach time, Tahuata. Dancing lessons again on the pool deck. Next stop, Oaxaca. This arrival gives way to a fancy manoeuvring procedure as the ship is turned 180 degrees ready for leaving. She is literally pulled and pushed around. The museum is chock full of history, and the same man who created it is also responsible for the botanical gardens you will see later. It is a beautiful setting among the craggy mountains, and we are entertained by beautiful ladies with a local dance ceremony. The Botanic Gardens are a feature of this island. This splendid mystical place is a sanctuary of an incredible arboretum, a paradise for tropical plants. This 17-hectare botanic reserve was created in 1974 to fight against deforestation and impoverishment of the island's vegetation. Again, so much colour and beauty. A formidable looking tiki. The coastline is spectacular along this stretch of road. Onward to Hiva and a visit to places we didn't see before. These villages hold much history. Moving on, we come to this beautiful old church, the Aranui Cathedral. It's well worth while looking around and it's truly beautiful. Onward again to Apua, which we visited earlier and had the hill climb across. Next stop, Rangiroa and the Pearl Farm. Here we are given a talk on how the farm operated and produces black pearls. Next, a demo of seeding pearls. Poor old oyster, but it must be worth the effort. On to Bora Bora. Here we pick up a bus for a trip around the island. One thing that's very noticeable here is the way they tie up their boats out of the water. Luxury accommodation for tourists. Bora Bora has such beautiful beaches. Back in town again, I wait for a helicopter trip. Can you imagine holiday here and those waking up every morning to fantastic views and maybe a swim straight out of bed? Apart from the bus and the helicopter rides, there are also swim with the sharks and its motorised canoe around the lagoon. Unfortunately, you need to choose, there are not enough hours in the day. Finally, it was quite a night with the crew entertaining and dancing as they brought food. Unfortunately, all great things must end, but we are left with the memories and the recommendations